Hello and thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Jurnee Taylor and these are the stories we're following right now.
Just being black has been seen as a threat often in this country.
Shooting of a 16-year-old boy, Missouri boy, who was shot twice after mistakenly going to the wrong home to pick up his younger brothers. And new research reveals a 4-day work week isn't just a bonus for businesses and employees. At 12:12, we'll show you how it can also help the environment. And from tax tips to verifying tax day myths, everything you need to know to get those tax returns done on time, just ahead. But first, of course, we need to check in with meteorologist Nathan Scott. Nathan, if I say so myself, this is a beautiful day.
Oh, this is a day you don't want to be indoors during taxes because you want to be outside on this type of weather day with lots of sun, comfortable temperatures. Now this morning we dropped down to the 40s. We start off the day at 46 in Conway, 47 in Hot Springs. It was 56 in Monticello and 43 in Clinton, but we've rebounded very nicely with all that sunshine. Temperatures are into the mid 70s right now. So get out, have lunch outdoors, have a picnic, unless you have spring allergies, because then you're really suffering from all this so-called nice weather. I feel sorry for you. 73 in Mena, 77 right now in Conway, and 75 in Stuttgart. We'll see temperatures warm up into the low 80s across the board this afternoon. You got one more day to enjoy the nice weather on Wednesday. Look at the rain chances really going up for Thursday and into Friday. Thursday, we still have to stay weather aware. We have that 2 out of 5 or slight risk of strong to severe thunderstorms Thursday afternoon into Thursday night. This is not a big tornado threat, but a few storms may try to produce some large hail and some damaging winds. I'll have more on what the future radar could look like and also talk about much cooler temperatures behind the system coming up.
A shooting leaves a man dead in North Little Rock this morning. According to officials, police responded to a call around the 500 block of West 17th Street in North Little Rock. There, they found a man suffering from what appeared to be a gunshot wound. The victim was then pronounced dead at the scene. Officials are asking for anyone with information to contact the North Little Rock Police Department. Meanwhile, police have made an arrest in a high-stakes burglary and vehicle theft case in Faulkner County. On Sunday, someone stole more than $100,000 worth of commercial property, including a vehicle from the Army Corps of Engineers building. Then yesterday, Russellville police officers found the stolen vehicle and managed to catch the suspect, that's Daniel Carr. After chasing him down on foot, Carr is now facing multiple felony charges from 3 separate law enforcement agencies. And another developing story today, Hot Springs police are set to release details on a shooting. They haven't said much so far, but we do know that it happened on Monday afternoon on Carson Street. For the latest, you can stay with us here, and we're hoping, of course, to get an update at some point this afternoon. You can also keep an eye on our website, that is chv11.com. The mother of a black teen who was shot twice after mistakenly going to the wrong house in Kansas City, Missouri last week is speaking out to CBS News. As Ralph Yarl recovers at home, the 84-year-old man accused of shooting him is facing felony charges. Kristen Benavidez reports.
Ralph is doing considerably well. Physically, mornings are hard, but his spirits are in a good place.
Cleo Nagby tells CBS Mornings her son, Ralph Yarl, is continuing to receive medical care at home after being shot last week above the eye and in the arm. His family says it happened Thursday night in Kansas City, Missouri, after the high school junior went to the wrong house to pick up his younger siblings.
So it was about 9:45. I'm like, Ralph, can you please pick up your brothers for me? Being the kid he said okay.
Yarl went to Northeast 115th Street instead of Northeast 115th Terrace, a block away. The man accused of shooting him, 84-year-old Andrew Lester, is facing 2 felony charges, armed criminal action and first-degree assault.
I can tell you there was a racial component to the case.
According to the probable cause statement, Lester told police he thought someone was breaking into his house.
Just being black has been seen as a threat often in this country.
Yarl is an honor student and an all-state band member.
No teenager is a perfect teenager, but I'll tell you what Ralph and I will argue about. Ralph and I will argue about Ralph, can you put the sheet music down and do your English homework? Mom, I don't want to do my English homework because it's boring. That's what we argue about.
His mother says Yale has asked him to apply to their school twice. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
Well, the family and its attorneys are meeting today with prosecutors to find out why Lester was in charge with attempted murder. The shooting has sparked protests, and the house where the incident happened has been vandalized. Well, we turn now to the latest from Pine Bluff, where two groups disagree on what's best for the city. Their disagreement lies within a sales tax, which is up for a vote 3 weeks from today. Supporters for the current sales tax are the city and Go Forward Pine Bluff. Opponents can be found within the Pine Bluff chapter, NAACP chapter, who says the current model hasn't shown enough results. GFPB and the city of Pine Bluff want to keep the current sales tax, saying it will help in their efforts of revamping the city. In a press conference just hours ago, Pine Bluff Mayor Shirley Washington pointed to COVID-19 as a barrier to getting planned Go Forward initiatives completed.
We know that there is much that we started to complete that hasn't been finished, so it's important that we move this tax forward.
While other city leaders say they want accountability moving forward.
That's my stance. My stance is to make sure that we are accountable in doing what we say we're going to do with the money that we have.
In the end, it's up to Pine Bluff voters to decide next month to renew a 5/8 of a cent sales tax, plus vote for an additional 3/8 to improve public safety. Well, today is tax day, and if you haven't filed yet, you might still have a little longer, depending on where you live. Those in tornado disaster zones can put off filing while the recovery process continues. Instead of today, people who live in Pulaski, Cross, and Lono counties will have until the end of July to submit their returns. Now, if you are not in those counties but were still affected, you can ask for an extension. The IRS suggests getting those done digitally by today. Otherwise, the application will be on paper.
I would definitely pursue the extension route because that's going to allow you more time to get your documents together.
If you missed the deadline and don't file an extension, you could face penalties. For those who owe the state money, late fees are 5% of the tax owed for each month that they're late. Kevin McCarthy used his 100th day as Speaker of the House to highlight the looming battle over the debt ceiling. Congress has until this summer to raise the debt ceiling to pay for its bills it's already passed. Now, if it fails to do so, the U.S. could default on its debt for the first time in history.
Okay, so here's our plan. In the coming weeks, the House will vote on a bill to lift the debt ceiling into the next year.
McCarthy says the bill would return spending to 2022 levels and limits federal spending growth to 1% over the next 10 years. Speaker McCarthy has yet to unify House Republicans on which areas of the budget they're willing to cut, and his proposal is not likely to pass in the Democrat-led Senate. The American reporter being held in Russia accused of espionage had a day in court today, but he remains behind bars. Nicole D'Antonio has the latest from Washington, D.C.
Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich watched the court proceedings from inside a glass and metal enclosure as a Russian judge denied bail, pending an investigation and trial. The 31-year-old was arrested in March, accused of trying to obtain classified information about a Russian arms factory.
The charges against Evan are baseless, and we call on the Russian Federation to immediately release him.
On Monday, the U.S. ambassador to Russia was finally allowed to visit Gershkovich in prison.
I can report that he is in good health and remains strong despite his circumstances.
President Biden has spoken to Gershkovich's parents and calls their son's detention totally illegal. His parents both grew up in the Soviet Union before moving to the U.S. They sat down for an interview with the Wall Street Journal.
I know that he felt like it was his duty to report to, and he loved Russian people,
He still does?
He still does, yes.
U.S. authorities are also calling for the release of American Paul Whelan, who the Russians have also been holding on spying charges since 2018. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Washington.
Well, we've tossed around the thought of a 4-day work week for some time now, and a new study shares how it benefits everyone. The details just ahead, but first, let's take a look at weather. Nathan.
Jurnee, I'm watching out for the potential some spicy storms on Thursday, and then maybe some record cold expected for the weekend. I'll have the latest coming up.